Whoa. All right. Let's roll the sleeves up. Get ready to go.
It's Thursday evening.
Thursday evening. So we decided we're going to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Whoever jumps on.
It's definitely an impromptu live.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't even planning on
Well,
being
what's up, Chris? I saw you jump on there, bud.
Planning on being high.
All right. So we're going live.
I said live. I said we weren't even planning on being high.
I saw that.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, I saw you read and then said something different than we are.
Maybe we shouldn't have went live.
Let's go ahead and shut it down. We're going to shut this down right now. Thank you guys for watching. We out of here.
And we're back.
All right, we changed our mind. We're back.
Yeah. And feel free for those jumping on to go ahead and share this live.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris, go ahead and share it.
All right. All your friends.
All right, we got Big Hunt, Daniel. Let's see.
Thank you for sharing the
Jam
live.
Sauce.
Alphabetic Calman 600.
Thank you. Jam Sauce 3000. Yeah. That's just a cool name.
Jam Sauce. Easy
B for you.
Mr. Guts.
Mr. Guts.
Ryan Summer 62. Murphy 24P.
You guys are
I feel like this could be a contest.
Let's go.
Yeah.
PWM Tech.
Ricky Medina.
Oh, there he is. There's Ricky. I see you.
Near
Ryan.
Hair by Glory.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny Blanco.
There she is. Jenny,
hey,
what's up?
Jenny, good to see you. Muppet, Sweet Paige.
Hey.
We just, as we're shouting these people out, they're like, wait a minute.
Candor.
What did I have to do?
Yeah.
Chef Healthy.
Yeah, Chef Healthy. Oh, there's
JJ Mac.
JJ Mac.
Fabigalugadu.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Skinder Kelly.
Graham Cracker.
That's a good one.
Graham Cracker.
I like it. I always like the ones that are like user 5673920 exclamation point.
You like those ones?
No. Tierney Tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to go ahead and share this with your friends.
All right.
Noble Melton.
Holla. What's up, guys?
Where are you guys from? He loves when I ask that.
I don't.
You know, Pickle 1993, typically we do have a lot of people on at the beginning. The last couple of times we've been live, I think TikTok's been doing something weird. But anyway, not tonight.
Good story, baby.
Not tonight.
Nailed it.
I realized I was saying that. I'm like, no one cares.
All right. So what do we do, babe? What do we do? How do we help people? What do we do?
Yeah, so what we do is we jump on here and answer relationship life questions. Thank you, appreciate that.
John.
Rick is a men's coach, and so if you stick around long enough, I already see one of the guys on here already, but a lot of the men will jump on as well. But Rick is an expert in coaching men. He runs the Warriors Way mindset and has been helping men for years. And since TikTok kind of blew up, things have been very busy. And now he has multiple groups that he's leading. Mm-hmm. And when I say changing men's lives, I'm not even being dramatic. He's changing men's lives from helping men going through relationships, divorces, custody battles, I mean, you name it, finding their purpose, suicide, PTSD, all of those things. He's doing such an incredible job at changing men's lives, and men need help right now. Men are suffering, and so he's able to give them.
We help our guys find their confidence to be themselves authentically again. We don't tell you what you're supposed to be. I don't tell you how to live your life. But I show you how to be the best version of yourself you can be.
Yeah.
Phil, I don't know if you're on here with Chris. Let me know. I'm going to try and talk as much into this genie bottle microphone that we have here. For those of you wondering, is this genie bottle a bong? I wish, but it's not. It's just a genie bottle thing.
And you don't even wish because you don't do that.
I'm terrible. I don't even do drugs. I'm the worst. I am not even.
I don't think that's the worst.
I'm not even fun to party with.
So
hopefully you can hear me. I know I don't project super well, so.
He's going to talk directly into the microphone. For some reason, I'm constantly yelling, I feel like. Where do you get your knowledge from, sir?
Good question.
Let me...
Take it.
Okay.
You watch me study and research and do classes. You watch.
Does more when you say like someone works hard every day and like puts in the work, he's up sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we talk about this often. Notebooks and notebooks and notebooks. A lot of times when he's reading things, it's from his direct notebook. He has studied Stoic philosophy. He's worked with other psychologists to help them improve their practice that they do. He's wrote a book. He's worked with a psychologist on a book. Just really day in, day out, like hitting it hard every day, researching, challenging. He's a challenger by nature. Challenging processes. Do they hold up? Do they not? What else would you say? There's a lot.
Simplest thing, they don't really care about all the certifications and stuff I've done. I'd be under psychologist, philosopher, and then I've gone more the coach route. Hey, what's up, Bozajeski? I've gone more the coaching route. The reason why is because going into the other professions, I would just diagnose. You just diagnose what's wrong, but you're not getting in the fray to help people get better. So if I was to say, hey, man, you've got to be a better basketball player, so, shoot more shots, but you don't get shown how to do it. I went more into the coaching because I'll get in the fray with my men. I'll go right into hell and get you. And so knowing the answers and having the diagnoses and studying the behavior is one thing, but getting in there to really try to help people made a world of difference. So that's what I do now. I go in and I get my men. I bring my guys back up and I help you be the best man that you're built to be.
Yeah. And there's not many coaches out there, and I hate to even use the word coach because I always say there's a coach for everything.
It's an abused
word. Overused, right?
It's an abused word, yeah.
But I don't often see many coaches. I definitely don't see this with counselors or psychologists either, unless there's a high emergency. But here's an example. Last night we were getting ready for bed, and he's like, all right, I may have to take a couple calls here. And a couple of the guys were in need, and
we're freezing.
Are we?
It was freezing for me. Maybe it's your phone, but
probably my phone. And he's there for his guys. That was my point.
I didn't mean to throw you off. I just saw we were sitting still for a long time.
Yeah.
What's up, Isaiah the Outlaw?
This is also super delayed, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 1111. No, we appreciate you guys a lot being here. Good question. Thank you for that very much.
Yeah.
We really do try to do our best to serve you guys. We go live like this to serve you guys right now. So feel free to fire off your questions and see what we do.
Yeah.
Was I in the military? Good question. I was actually not in the military. I decided, with my SAT scores and the direction I went more into entrepreneur, and I went more into the work field. So I trained with military guys, though. So I did do combat training for years. I did a lot of stuff that would be in the military realm. I worked with military guys. I just never went the military route. I don't know if that was, authentically the best choice for me, but I was never full military. But I did work with a lot of guys. You guys are freezing. Check and see if we're freezing.
We're on the right internet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we are. My nose is itching like crazy. It just is. My nose is just so itchy right now. I'm a human with a nose.
Now you're making it feel like my nose should be itching.
Is your nose itching too? Did you get it?
Okay, now we're good. No lag. Okay. It's funny. A lot of people ask him if he's in the military because his stance is also very upright and solid. He has good posture. So a lot of people ask if he's in the military.
That's true.
So I answer for him and say no. No, I'm kidding. I don't. Just kidding. I don't. My girl always fights from her feelings. Not sure how to communicate with her.
Here's a question I have, when that comes up. A lot of times when people are fighting from their feelings, this is a difficult thing that happens for men and women. Is women want guys to be able to vent. I don't know why my nose is so itchy. Women want guys to be able to vent their feelings too. And a lot of times it's really just to be heard. Now the hard thing for us guys is we're usually fixers. Odds are, was it AFA Mouster or Moustar? I don't know how to say it.
Musta.
Odds are you're probably trying to make her life better. You're probably trying to make it so that she can be happy because, the whole happy wife, happy life thing, the whole thing like that. Yeah, we are freezing a bunch, babe.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
I'm on the right internet. I don't know why it's doing that. We are not technically inclined. I don't know. But, oh, it's a famous star. Well done. I didn't see that. Well, that's like reading a license plate.
Oh!
I like that. A
Nice.
famous star. All right.
We get it now.
So odds are you're just trying to make her happy, because if you can solve some of the problems that she's venting with, happy wife, happy life, that whole thing, right? So happy spouse, happy house. I like that one. We're still on that. I like that. So if you can like solve some of the problems that she's venting about, she'll be happy, right? No. Sometimes they're just saying stuff, and it's better to find out if it's a request or if it's just sharing. I learned this from being in a house full of 5 women. When you're in a house full of 5 women, they're going to let you know. They're going to let you know. I'm just sharing. When you ask, like, so do you want me to help fix that for you, or are you just sharing with me? And a lot of times my girls are just sharing.
Yeah, we share a lot.
They just share. They don't actually want you to fix it. And so I'll ask them, like, hey, what do you need me to do? And then they'll go, oh, I don't need anything. And I say, consider it done. Consider it done.
You do say that a lot.
No problem.
Yeah.
What do you want? Nothing?
Consider it done.
Consider it done.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
It's actually more useful, too, because they don't get angry. I'm not trying to fix all their problems. They feel heard.
Right.
Things are going much better. It's just better.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the finger heart thing.
That's cute.
Thanks. A famous star. So my suggestion for you is just find out, is she just sharing? Is she just venting? And then ask if there's any requests, because we want to make her happy, but oftentimes us fixing the problems isn't making her happy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes us just look like desperate bitches, and that's not what we're trying to do. I could do multiple examples, but hopefully you get it. If you guys want examples, I can do them. But listen to her and just kind of ask, is there anything that you need me to do with that? And if she says no, okay, consider it done.
Yeah. Linkster, too, any guy that's on here that wants to book a call, there's a link at the top. I'm on here on my other account, so I'll put the link in the chat. The only thing you have to do is click on the link. It's free to book a call. You just have to put in the comments that you want to talk directly with Rick. So in the comments section, you can put, want to talk to Rick. Mm-hmm. And then we'll make sure that it's linked to him rather than Eddie. That's all you got to do.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple of good questions that are coming through here.
So, so what happens when that's all they talk about? While bringing it up more and more. Okay, I must have missed something, no?
Okay. Some people want examples. Justin wants examples. See, I'll do one example for you, Justin. Oh, a wild Snorlax has appeared.
Yeah.
All right, Justin, I'll give you an example of what it looks like if we look like a bitch. I'll show you this. It's not what we like to do. We don't like to do it, but this is what happens. Let's say she comes in and she goes, "Ugh, it's cold in here." And you start going, "Oh, do you want me to turn up the temperature? Want me to fix the thermostat? Do you want me to get you a blanket? Do you want me to get you your slippers? Do you want me you want to put your feet on my back? How can I warm you up? I'll warm you up right now. I'm going to put my warm hands on you, and I'll put your hands on me. I'll warm you up, and I'll go and fix the thermostat for you. It's not heating you up fast enough. I'll start a fire in the house for you. I'll burn my favorite shirt for you so that way you're warm." And she's looking at you all the time going like, "What are you doing? Like, I don't want you to do any of that stuff at all. I didn't ask you to do any of that." You're like, "But you said you were cold, and so I'm going to make you warm. I'm going to make you comfortable because I'm going to make you happy." You're freaking me out right now. I do not feel happy. Please stop it. And I think one of the quotes that our guys say pretty often, I know that Greg says it all the time, if you treat her like a star, a rock star, she's going to treat you like a fan. You know, if you treat her like a queen, she'll treat you like a servant. And it's one of those things where, like, just ask, like, do you want me to turn up the heat, or are you good? Or do you need anything, or are you good? Mm-hmm. And if she's like, you know what, I could use a blanket, and be like, baby, I got you. Then cool. But if she's like, nope, I'm good, then you're like, cool, no problem. You know, if you say you need anything and she's like, no, I don't need anything, consider it done.
Yep.
1-0 coming right up.
Mm-hmm. At the top, the collection.
You got it, Justin, you got it.
Yeah. How to trust your partner after infidelity, not letting thoughts of it happening again linger.
That's a big answer. That's a big. Do you want me? It's a big answer. It's getting into all the phases for that. Do you want me to?
I don't necessarily know about the phases. Maybe
Give you the short and sweet. It's a long answer, bud. Because remember, this is a broken trust.
maybe just give the cliff notes.
Yeah, I know
And
that
then-
you don't like repeating stuff.
Well, I'm sure it's going to come up again. So
Okay. All right. I'll give you the cliff notes for forgiveness. Kind of understand, like, the very, very short version of this is you guys have to reestablish your entire dynamic again by understanding there's new agreements and new vows from whatever it is you guys just went through. The idea behind it is if somebody did make some sort of mistake or make some choice that they learned some lesson from, there has to be some grace given. You have to find the ability to be able to treat them as you would want to be treated. Now, there are some pitfalls to this, and I guess we'll maybe go into it later, but I guess the short and sweet to it would be you have to acknowledge what was done wrong, recognize what was done between you two and how it impacted others. You have to go through the acceptance, which is understand and accept what has happened, and then make new vows, new agreements that serve the relationship, that says, I will not repeat the same mistakes over again, and have new vows. From then, you have to choose, do I trust or do I not trust from this point out, but with a caveat. There's going to be a grace period where I'm watching that you're going to do it again or not do it again. But remember, when it comes to making new agreements, also have the consequence of breaking the trust again already established. If anything like this happens again, this is what happens. We're done. It doesn't go forward. I'm going to accept that you want to be with somebody else and you don't appreciate my values or my needs or our loyalty or our trust in this relationship. And if you are still that person, we are not a match. So if you choose that, there's no fight. There's no argument. I don't have to be mad. You just chose that we're not going to be together anymore. And if that's what you pick, there is no more negotiating or agreements or anything. We made the choices. Hope that's a very short version of it. Very short. Rick, you still on that high carb diet? Not always. I've got a more balanced diet, but when I was trying to like bulk up, I was on a higher carb diet. It's just very uncomfortable. And I need more naps. High carb diets are not fun, but Chris, you get it. Like I'd be a very small guy if I didn't work out the way that I do. I'd be very small. Justin, you're the man. We appreciate you for being here, bud. That's the very abridged version. I didn't get into all the negative stuff. I didn't get into how it works. So it's a very short version, but you guys have to pretty much redo your vows.
yeah.
Make promises with consequences that you both agree to.
Yeah.
Michael, good to see you on here, bud.
Wish there were 300,000 people on this live. I appreciate you. So, well, I don't know if we do. We probably won't be able to keep up with comments.
I think you guys can share this. We're learning as we go here. There's some people that were sharing this. Maybe we can get 300,000 people on here. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Ooh.
How do you catch yourself before love bombing?
Interesting.
I'd like to
Bombing's
hear
an interesting thing.
I'd like to hear the definition that you guys have for love bombing.
Yeah, I have mine.
What do you think it is?
I think love bombing is when you meet someone and you're right out the gate just real heavy when it comes into texting, calling, a little bit of promising the world to them. I'm going to take care of you. Oh my gosh, I'm already falling in love with you. I see it as someone that falls in love quick, like almost like a bomb drop, like boom, we're in love.
They're like full commit right away. All in.
Just to let you know, that typically is it's a red flag for women or men, I guess, in that case.
Not good for guys.
I don't think I think it goes both ways.
You just meet a girl and she's like, I
But
love you.
here's where
You're like, oh no.
Here's where I think it can be a little bit more dangerous, though, and I've seen this happen with, and I guess girls can do it too, or women can do it too. The guys will have to let us know, but I've seen men do this where it is like that, and to some women it can seem like, oh my god, especially if they're like wanting to commit to somebody, it can seem almost like, oh my gosh, like this is great, and kind of reel them in, and then once you're in, it can be a different story. So, yeah.
You mean like kind of take advantage of somebody? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Love bombing is, people consider it to be a red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like a bad idea. It's probably better to kind of learn each other a little bit more and not shoot in really hard.
Yeah.
Love bombing seems like a poor choice.
Yeah.
So just take some time and learn each other before you start going, all right, it's been 45 minutes. Should I tell her I love her? Like, no.
That's so weird.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, don't do that.
Like, take your time, learn each other, and be okay.
Yeah, it can be a trap for the vulnerable. It is.
It is.
It absolutely is.
Well said, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Very well said. And that's usually who it happens to.
Oh, I got one for you. Hey, Corey, I see my wife has a hard time understanding why I still have severe PTSD from the service. I think that it's kind of fair and unfair on this one. It's fair that she has a hard time understanding because she probably has never been through what you've been through. So it's very fair that she doesn't understand. How the heck could she? That's fair. How would she know? If she's never been in combat like that, how would she know how to, relate with what it is you're going through? It's not fair. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know. So it's okay. Thanks, Joanne. Appreciate you. So, on the other hand, it's also on us to try and do our best to work through PTSD. I have also worked through PTSD. I was in extremely abusive environments, been in a lot of combat situations, a lot of fights, a lot of shitty things, had things died in my hands. I've had death around me. I've been in horrible situations, bad choices that I've made that put me in bad situations. I've had some horrible stuff that I've had to go through. And I've also had to work through those triggers and those things for PTSD. It can be done. And this is why I do work with guys who also do have, I would say, less severe forms of PTSD. But again, this is a measurement that we kind of gauge off of our own observations. So it's not like your PTSD is a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. There's no measurement to it. So that makes it difficult to know. So for you, she may call it severe PTSD, but for some of us other guys, you may be more on like that moderate scale. So it's hard to say. It's hard to open up, and I'm still learning my triggers after 9 years of being out. It's good for you to understand what your triggers are, and then that way it gives you some place to train to be able to handle them better. Mm-hmm. For me, I don't do well with quick, loud noises when they come in. Mm-hmm. I don't do well. It puts me right on guard, and I'm ready to fight. Like it's just, even if it's no intention, no danger. Like out of nowhere, loud noise, real quick, I don't do well. I'm like, oh, like I have to pull it back. And she, zero combat. My girls, zero combat. They do not understand why that exists because they've never been hurt like that.
And to us, it can look like, and this may be your wife, looking at it as you're being there. There's anger, and sometimes I think it's hard to be able to take yourself out of it if you're on the other end of it, because none of it's happening to you, all right, or maybe to your wife, none of it's happening to them, but that behavior seems, if it's anger, at least for me, it can seem a little startling. And so it's understanding like, okay, that's separate from what I am, and it's not against me. This is the way that you're dealing with it.
Yeah, but also on another note, societally it's not fair either. Right. I'll give you the example. You were in extreme, terrible environments. You were probably hurt. You were probably seen people hurt and been through terrible things. And if you start going like, oh God, I'm not doing good right now, I'm not doing good, they're like, chill out.
Yeah, we don't understand.
Stop it. You're being fucking dumb. Ugh. You get judged really quickly. Not fair. Not fair. Have a woman who's been in an abusive relationship who's got abuse triggers, It's okay, hon. He can't hurt you anymore. It's not fair.
It's
It
not.
falls exactly under the same category, but women are going to get far more nurtured than men, which is why I work with men,
Yeah.
because they will not get that same nurture or that same, what would that be, reassurance. We don't get that. We get told to chill out and stop being weird. That's not happening.
Yeah, which doesn't help you heal from
But-
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but for women, it'd be like, you're so brave. He can't hurt you anymore. It's okay. You know, and for you, it's like, stop doing it. Jeez,
It is
no
a
one's going to
double
hurt
standard.
you.
Yeah, I mean, and here's an example that we've seen on our page when women that have been in situations, right? And this is no different than PTSD, and especially guys that have been to war. If there was a traumatic experience in their life and they are telling their husband, I don't want to be touched, right? Then the man is just supposed to be like, okay, that's fine, right? That is your husband. He should be okay to touch you. You know, but on the flip side, just like you were saying, like for men, this guy's been out fighting war, seen things that literally are life changing, right? But then there's no sympathy, there's no like understanding sometimes from that aspect of
No
it.
empathy.
It's not cool. Yeah.
So, Corey, for guys like you who are going through that stuff, whenever my guys are having their trigger moments or the guys are going in, they'll talk to me or they'll talk to one of my guys, and we're there for our guys for that. We're there for our guys for those moments where you go in deep. We've been there. We're not afraid of it. We support you through it. We have pulled a lot of guys out of the shit. We have pulled a lot of guys. She's seen me up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, pulling guys out of hell. Like, we show up for each other.
Yeah.
And so, Corey, book a call with us. See if you're one of us. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be cool to be able to have a conversation. But guys who have PTSD, there are ways to train yourself out of it and have a little bit more grace with being able to deal with family and kind of have your awareness be high enough to kind of know which situations to put yourself in and which ones not to. So there's hope.
Mm-hmm.
There is hope, bud.
Especially Corey, when you're saying, you know, it's hard to open up too.
Mhm.
Even, you know, having a call with Rick, you know, for that hour or whatever, and if you decide to join the men's group, you have men that have been in the same position as you, so there's a relatability there too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How much? Oh, you
Yeah,
can say shit. Really
you're-
human. How much would you have to pay to bring out the shit, so to speak? Sorry to put it that way. Have a conversation with us first. Let's see if your shit is what I work in. Like, if you're in the realm of this is what I do and that's how I work and this is the thing that I can do for you, if this is in my wheelhouse and this is what I train to do, then we'll go over how much it costs for that. If it's something that doesn't, like, I'm not that person, you have to be in this field, it's the wrong section for this, or maybe we're just not a match and I'm too direct or it's too much, no problem. There's no cost for the first call. We have to see whether we're a match first. If we are, then I'll talk about how much it is. If we're not, doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you're not a match, I guarantee you. Either way, honestly, if you book a call with him, you will leave. Look at Phil. It's like best thing I ever did.
Mhm.
There's so many guys that even if they end up not signing up for whatever reason, they will tell you that was the best hour like I've had in so long. And so many people, and I know that Corey, you were saying the VA is a joke, and we've seen this in a lot of men that reach out too because they're like, I need real help because they can't get it through the VA or they're can't speak up the way that they need to in order to get the help they want without being judged within the VA too, which is an awful thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, even if it's not a match and I can give you at least some guidance
Yeah.
on how to work on it, be happy to.
yeah.
Hope everyone in the room knows how different that answer was from every other answer. Thank you. I feel like that's a compliment. I'm taking that as a compliment. That seems nice. I really appreciate hearing from both of you and your page. We appreciate
Oh,
you
thanks
too.
for being here.
Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike says this group has helped me on many levels, and I'm glad that I match with what Rick does.
Yeah.
Mike's a warrior. That guy, we had just done a big celebration for him last week. That's a warrior
That's
right there.
awesome.
Mike's a good guy. He's a
That's
good man.
fantastic. Good. Good.
He's the one who had you crying when he was telling his story.
Oh.
When he was at the hospital. Yeah, pretty
Oh,
tough.
oh.
That's Mike.
Oh, I can't listen. I think I've cried more since he's taken on more of these men's groups. I don't, I see the initial bookings, right? And I keep it between him and I. Sometimes we don't even talk about it. He just jumps on the call and does his thing. I'm not involved in the men's groups, right? It's not for the ladies. Otherwise, it would be. But some of these stories are heartbreaking. I am the softie. Listen, some of the story I can't even. It's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking, and I think for me, it's become such a soft place in my heart. Not only because these stories are so tough to hear, but I think it's been more of almost like an awakening moment for myself, because my relationship with men my entire life was never great. And my outlook on men was also never great. And I looked at men as always being the problem. And, did not have a good outlook on men, even up until the point until I met him. It still was that way. And it's really opened my eyes to see men in a very different light. And neither side is perfect, and they never will be. But as a man, you guys have it much harder than women do, by far. And I think that's the reason.
Maybe today's day and age, it's not a fair setup.
It's not. It is not. It's not. So I think that's why I'm kind of a softie to it, because I almost feel bad, like, man, I didn't see this before. Dang. So
Isaiah the Outlaw, my dude.
Hi, Isaiah.
Isaiah is a good man. He's very likable. That's his skill, is that he's a very likable human.
I know. You've told me about that before.
Yeah, he's very likable. That's a very unique skill, too, just being likable, just being who you are. It's beautiful. Honestly, this channel and others on TikTok have helped me off of several edges. My man, we get to talk on Monday, don't we, Chris? I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Corey, I've never told my wife the things I did overseas. Could she join the call with me? You can, but Corey, I'd rather talk to you first to see if we even need to have her in on that. I don't think that you necessarily have to share the things with her that happened overseas, and if you do, it can easily be a very abridged version. It doesn't have to be where you have to really go in deep. So just we could have a conversation first, and let's try and see if it's a good idea or not. It may not be something you actually have to share with her. So let's at least see if it's healthy to do that first. So Corey, book a call, man. Let's see if it's a good idea to talk. Thoughts on relationships with someone who lost their spouse. If they heal and they go through, that loss will always be there. The meaning will always be there. People who have been widowed or widowers, they're always going to have something there that's missing. There's always going to be some loss or some grieving there. Have some grace with that, because nothing can change from that. There was a massive loss. They can still cope and grow and not hold things over your head or do comparisons, because it's a different world. But there's always going to be some sort of honoring of the dead or some sort of loss that was there, and as long as you honor and respect it with them, you guys can grow together. You don't have to be him or her. Like, it's one of those things where it's better to honor the life that was lost than it is to fight against it. They went through enough. We don't have to be mean about it. That's just my thoughts on it. I know that you just asked what my thought is. You didn't tell me your story, so I'm making assumptions, but why is my nose so itchy?
I don't know.
My nose just itches.
I don't know. Message to Corey, spend thousands on couples therapy and just needed personal therapy. Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
And I think, too, one thing, I don't know if we've been clear about this or not, but, Rick will take the first initial call, and yes, he right now is able to, and we're stretched very thin, is able to lead his men's classes right now. The cool thing about these men's classes is that you have a group of men that are there supporting you. So it's not just you and Rick. You have, which is awesome, but you have a group of men that are there that have your back. So you're building like this brotherhood of these strong men. And he asked every man before they sign up, he's able to tell, like, if the shit goes down, would you be the person that would be there to have someone's back? And that's very important. And this is the kind of the culture that he's been able to build, which is great. feels. Like, it's true. We show up at weird hours for each other.
We do.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, sometimes pain doesn't go on our schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, John. John Carlson. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for your questions. I'm glad I could help with a little bit. All right. Fire off some more questions. We got any in the wings here, or so far we've nailed it?
I think we've done pretty good.
Yeah. Hopefully we help that. Bozajeski.
I think I got your back.
I love that guy.
Yeah,
I really
he's
do.
great.
He's just
We
great.
appreciate you.
Like, and I gotta praise you. Standing desk aside, like, man, I really appreciate your heart and your time and your knowledge and your ability to share with me. It means a lot, man. It really means a lot. So, I'm very grateful. Thank you for being an answered prayer. We are
For
meeting
sure.
with accountants and tax people and working on systems to try and improve everything that we can for everybody on this and for the men and
Yeah.
soon to be women that we are working with. So we are working on some things for this so we can help everybody. And Bozajeski, you are definitely one of the reasons that we're able to move forward more effectively. So
Thank you. You
thank
have
you,
no
bro.
idea.
thank you, bro.
Yeah, forever grateful, truly.
You know your stuff.
Yeah.
You're very, very, very
Mhm.
wise.
Yep.
I love it. And John Carlson, thank you, man. This is content I support, something that actually gets worse in value on this platform. Let's see. That's
Gives worth.
gives worth.
I was like, I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
Actually gets worth and value on this platform.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gets worth. Yeah, the typos.
Yeah.
Damn typos. I'll tell you, man. I've had some ones where I'm writing and I'm like, what autocorrect is this?
Yeah.
This would be
Oh my
terrible.
gosh. Yeah.
I've had some tough autocorrects.
After her going no contact after 4 months and then start working at the same place, any advice?
Oh,
Broad question, I know, but anything.
quit, leave your job, get another one, get another job. Let's see, all right, hold on. I'm just kidding. You don't have to get another job. After
Get
her
her
going,
fired. No, I'm kidding.
hold on.
Just kidding. Just
Okay.
like you. Just
After
kidding.
her going no contact after 4 months and then start working at the same place, any advice? How long were you guys dating before the no contact for 4 months? Like, how long were you guys? Because if you guys are married for 7 years, and then she went ghosting for 4 months, and then she works where you're at, whoa.
3 years.
3 years. So you were with this person 3 years, no contact for 4 months, and then she shows up at your work. Is she in your department, or is there any way to not be around her at all? It's good to see you, too. Somebody else, 4088. If there's-
Jessica says she's changing you, buddy. Sounds
Yeah.
like games.
Yeah, oh, no, don't mess with it anymore. Stay away from it. But is there any way you don't have to interact? Because that's best case scenario. Otherwise, if you have to interact and you absolutely refuse to go get a different job, you see each other every day. Are you guys hostile or are you still hurt?
Also, it depends on what kind of work do you do. So, like, are you in the shop and she's in the office? Because that's very different than being like a waitress or a waiter together.
Yeah, we're like,
You have to
you
interact.
cook and she serves. Like, it's going to be a different thing. You have to see each other every 5
It's
minutes.
like we have to interact. Yeah, she wants you to interact with her.
Probably does.
Yeah,
Why would she get a job at your place when she
there's a
knows you
reason.
worked there for
She's
3
doing
years?
it on purpose.
Like,
She's doing
there's
it on purpose.
no way. It's a warehouse environment. All right. Truth be told, man, you want to know what I would really suggest if you're not going to go and get a different job, which it's a warehouse. There's a lot of warehouses, bro. But if she didn't know I was there, I know she didn't, because you never told her where you worked.
But you've been there for 3 years, and
She's been with her for 3 years.
something's not adding up.
Anyways, let's just assume that's not as weird as it sounds. All right, so
I have so many questions.
yeah, leave it alone. Let's leave that alone. All right, so freak coincidence. The girl I was with for 3 years is now working at my place. We haven't talked for 4 months, and now she's there. What do I do? What do I do? Okay. Move on. Work on your shit. Keep being better every day and don't give her any time of your day because she knows, or you've already seen that she's exposed herself, that at any given moment she'll be gone for 4 months and not talk to you. This is not a person you can invest your heart into. That's okay. Not everybody is. In fact, 99.99999 of them are not worth investing yourself into. This is one of those, and that's all right. In which case, work on you. Keep growing here, keep growing here, keep growing here, keep getting better every day for yourself. But don't give her anything.
No, it really has to be strictly like business. Ask the question, yes or no. Like, how can you answer in few words?
You
like,
work together.
Yeah.
Big deal. Leave it alone, man. I'd say this is just one where, like, that's your old chapter, time for your next chapter.
Yeah. Let's freeze out. Society has stigmatized mama's boys, but dating a girl who I feel is a little too attached to her mom. Advice.
How old is the girl who's attached to her mom? Because if she's like 3 or 4, not a big deal. Her 13-year-old. She's 12 or 13 now.
But he's dating a girl who he feels like is too attached to her mom.
Oh, he's dating the girl. Okay.
Yeah, so she's 28, super attached to her mom. So his
mom,
question was,
is mom a good mom or not a good lady? Like, it's just like she's bad habits and does like tough things. Like, not.
Listen, when it's your mom, it doesn't matter for people a lot of times because it's still your mom.
I didn't say it. His opinion, because he's saying he's got a judgment that she's too attached.
Yeah, it's good.
So if she's a good lady and she's learning good things and has a good mom, this might not be a bad thing. It may just be good traits and good things that will happen for you, and it shows that she's capable of that kind of love. So might not be the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, grade the mom, scale 1 to 10.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Bozajeski. Appreciate him, man. So it may not be bad, but I don't know the situation completely.
Yeah.
It seems like it's possible. It could be a benefit.
Yeah. We just don't have enough specifics.
Yeah. It could go either way. Because I've seen some women who are like attached to their mom in like a sick codependent way, or have like a lot of issues between them, and it just amplifies them. It could be that. Mm-hmm. So it could be toxic, or this could be useful. Mm-hmm. Like, she could be a good person. Like, your mom is great, and she has some great traits, and some of her good traits you have also. So that's not necessarily a negative. I just don't know what he means by the way the dynamic is set up.
Yeah.
Okay, what was it? Summer?
That's what I feel.
Summer
codependency type of way.
You feel like it's codependent? Could be. I would have to know a lot more about their dynamic to know if it really was or not. It could also be something where you have some unmet needs for yourself and maybe adding judgment. So I don't know enough to know if it's really that, or maybe you have some unmet needs that you're trying to get met and maybe need to articulate differently. I'd have to know you guys better to know which direction it would go, though. So I'm kind of making a lot of assumptions. How long are we online? What's up, Blonde? Was it Blonde Glulik? Gluk. I'll probably be about another hour.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe it's. Well, I mean, how late can you stay up, baby? It's 10 o'clock here. How
I know. I've been complaining all week. I've been exhausted all week. Like, to the so tired.
Real
anyway,
talk. We don't know.
Nobody cares. About an hour probably.
Yeah.
These are also always posted up on YouTube as well, so you can find it there.
I wish I could say always. I haven't posted the last couple.
I'm lying.
All right.
Eventually.
Summer. Is it Summer VW?
Yeah.
It looks like it's one thing. Summer VW. I am a widow, dating for the first time. My boyfriend wants to see me every weekend, but I want to.
Thank you, Aaron.
And to spend time with other people and he doesn't get it.
But I want. Oh, okay.
Does she add more? Nope, that's it. What's up, Aaron? I see you. As far as just off of that, it seems like this guy's loving you, and you want to go do something else. I'd probably start off with a couple real questions. Like if this guy's, let's assume this guy's a good guy. Let's assume he's not crazy, not weird. Let's assume this is a healthy dynamic, it's going well. And he wants to see you every weekend. That's what he gets. He doesn't get a lot of time. It's going well. How do I talk to him about him? Let's assume he's a good guy. I'm gonna go with you on this one, Summer. Let's go with it. This is a guy who's worth hanging out with. I don't know how often you can see each other, but if it's every weekend is all you get because you guys are working through the week, that's what it is. He wants some time with you. Depending on love languages, quality time, touch, even doing acts of service, these are things that require you two being together, and he loves that. If that's what it is, and you're trying to say, I don't want that, I want to go out with other people, my question would be, how much are you ready to be able to commit your heart to somebody who's worth it? Like, that's a question you may want to write down and journal you're through on that one. How ready are you to commit a full, ready heart to somebody who's worth doing it for? Because if he's a good guy and he's worth it, and you're just not ready to do that yet, it's not good to hurt a good guy because you're not ready. Let it go and then go hang out with whoever you want to until you feel like you can give a full heart to somebody. And that's okay. It's better for both of you guys. It just is. And so I would take a little bit of time on that one. Yeah. If you're ready to be in a relationship, then love that somebody wants to spend time with you. Something to also consider, Summer, the most valuable resource that we have in our life is time. And this person wants to give theirs to you. And if you're like, I'm not ready for that, it's okay that you're not ready for that, but just let him go so you don't hurt him.
Who's your plumber? It's like Hoosier, but who's your plumber?
I like it.
I saw your message. I think that was for us about booking the appointment for next Thursday, but I don't see you on here. So
it'd be under Eddie's for next week, so it'd be under the purple ones. You don't have to get scheduled.
Yeah,
there's nothing there.
No, there's nothing there.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to book for next Thursday? I'll reach out to you after the live.
Who's your plumber?
Who's your plumber?
You're our plumber.
Yeah. It was asking me to be part of a third party, and I don't need to be rude. No, that shouldn't. Right? I shouldn't be doing that.
Oh, no.
Let me do some investigating, but no, it shouldn't be doing
Click
that.
the button. Let's see what we got.
No, it should go right there.
See, respect personal privacy. That's just for the Calendly website itself.
And you just exit out.
So it's only showing one day there? Go to the next month. Oh, there's some other days for next month. Okay, good.
Yeah, but he was talking about next Thursday.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't see you on there.
No.
So next Wednesday has some availability.
There you go.
Anyway, I'll reach out to you afterwards.
No, you're good. Who's your plumber? You're good, man. All right. We have 1,000 megabits internet at my house, but stream seems to have stopped and crashed.
Dang.
It could be on our end. It keeps doing something on your end, too. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it keeps freezing. We don't know. Maybe it's TikTok. Maybe it's our internet. It's hard
Maybe
to
it's
say.
the universe.
Maybe
Nobody
it's
knows
the
anymore.
universe.
Nobody
Who knows?
knows
Maybe it's the
anymore.
Matrix. Maybe we're glitching
It's
and
TikTok.
changing things. Deja vu. All right. Blonde Glick. She said, what can I do? I got anxious attachment style. I struggle with trigger in the...
Glitch in the Matrix.
What does it say? The...
Trigger in the...
Contact impulse control?
I don't know what that means.
It says contact with a K. Contact impulse control. I wonder what you mean by this. I'd probably have to understand a little bit more of what your thing is. It's a glitch. Like, let's see. What can I do to get anxious attachment style? I struggle with the trigger in contact impulse control. Blonde Glulik. I hope I'm Gluk. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Just 2.0.
2.0.
You're going to call you 2.0.
Blonde 2.0. Give me an example I know that's not a lot of characters to write in, but take a couple lines and give me an example of like what do you mean by like a trigger contact impulse control for you? Only because like some of these things can mean different things to other people. And I just want to kind of make sure I'm specific with what your thing is versus making up things that don't apply to you. So hopefully I can help you out a little bit more. Until then, let's see, the collection 29. If you give someone who cheated a second chance, should you have access to their phone and socials? If you really truly give them a second chance, trust is not something you have to keep calling into question. It's got to be something where you renew the vows as far as if anything like this ever happens again, then no. The best way to do that is have agreements that like, hey, if I'm ever having a moment or being weird, can we go through your phone and show me I'm not being weird? Don't go through people's stuff. And if you ever feel like you have to be in all of their social media, just establish whether this is a trust level that works for both of you guys.
Yeah.
If it's a good agreement and you're both okay with having both of each other in each other's social media and in each other's stuff, then fine. And if it's something that you both don't want to do, then maybe you're not ready to be in that dynamic with a person who you know will break trust. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with it. It's just you got to choose which values match up for you guys. So for example, if you're like, I'll let you in all my social medias, and she's like, I'm not letting you in any of mine, does this match your values? If you say, no, loyalty is important to me, this may not be your person, and that's okay. Most people are not.
Yep.
All right, let's see what Blonde 2.0 says. I feel the pain in contact and reject impulsive. So it says, react impulsive. I feel I have to react to protect myself. I don't know how to handle this pain, then to react impulsive. Let's see. It says freeze. Wait, let's do it. You ready? How do we do? I hope we froze well.
I'm still frozen.
Oh, you're doing so good. You're the best freezer.
I nailed it.
You're the best freezer. All right, so let's see. I don't know how to handle the pain and act impulsively. I didn't see a thing that triggered pain, though. Just like when you meet somebody.
Yeah, I don't
Blonde
know.
2.0, I really am trying to understand, like, what is happening to make you feel triggered? Like, what is the, like, this happens. Like, this is an example. Like, this happens. Boom. And then you're like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Good one, Phil.
I made that joke, by the way, Phil. On the way home, him and I were talking on the way home when I was on my way home from work today.
She said she's the best NPC.
Number one. Made him laugh. I also made myself laugh because it's nonsense and true.
What do you think about a man thinking you don't need a piece of paper to be considered married?
And someone said, you're going to get him going. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
You want me or you want to go? Because you like this one.
You go for it.
You want me to go for it?
Yeah.
All right. As far as the way...
I feel like I'm going to jump in.
As far as the way things are going right now, do I believe in the institution of marriage itself? Well, what is that? This is where I devote myself thoroughly through loyalty and honor and love, and I commit myself to you. You are my person. I make vows to my person. I commit myself to you for the rest of my life. You are mine. I am yours. And together we will make each other's lives better. I want to grow with you. I want to love you. I want to sacrifice. I want to have reciprocity. I want to serve. I want to have love languages. You are my person. I am your person. Do I believe in that part of it? Absolutely. Do I believe the government needs to be involved in your love? Well, I don't believe the government has to be involved in your love. The government doesn't need to be involved in distributing who gets what. You don't need the state involved in telling you how you're allowed to love or who you're allowed to do things with. I don't believe that the piece of paper part is as necessary for two reasons. One, you don't need the government involved. And two, people sometimes attribute the government involved
Yeah.
as safety and security.
Yeah.
This means I'm going to give you a consequence if
Yeah.
you ever leave me. I can punish you for not wanting to be with me.
Yeah.
The problem I have with that is I'm not with her because I have to or I'll be punished. I'm with her because out of all of the choices in the world, I choose her.
NPC.
Always. That's who I choose. This is my person I choose to be with, not because I have to be, not because of punishment, not because the government will be involved, not for anything except for I can leave and I choose to stay. You are my person, even if I have all bridges to go, I choose you.
Yeah.
I don't need the government involved in
And
that.
honestly, because it's so, the government and the states and being married and all the laws and everything, it is geared towards women. It heavily is. If I was a guy, I would not sign any paperwork through the state to be married. It is signing yourself up for a disaster. And I don't care if you're like, well, that's supposed to be the person you love. Okay, well, look how many are failing. Okay, at this point, I'd rather not take my chances. Also, I've been married and divorced. And as a woman, I got the rough end of the stick and should not have. Just by the way that the laws work. And that has really shown me that the way that I was treated during that process is irregular for guys. And it doesn't feel good. And so, no. Why? No.
Yeah, you had to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for being cheated on.
Yep. Multiple times.
There's your retirement.
Yep.
Yay.
State of Illinois, that's what happens is the money that if you have a 401k retirement, whatever it is, and you have it, when you get married, every dollar goes to being split in half once you get a divorce. Now, if the other person cashes theirs out ahead of time, there's some things you can do. But if they don't have one, guess what? They're getting half of yours. Won't do it. Won't do it.
All right.
I love you, by the way.
I love you. Blonde 2.0. She had some. She filled it out. If you can see if you can find her thing, because it's gone up pretty deep in here. Phil just blows up this whole thing. It's all Phil's comments. I'm just messing with you, Phil.
Okay, let's see.
Something to do. I saw something to do with. Let's see.
I'll find it. Hold on.
She put a few in there.
Yeah, I know.
You want me to do it? Because it's taking a.
Well, it's because it's taking a while because sometimes they don't all show up and it's also delayed. So hold on a
Say
second.
somebody afraid he doesn't love me or he'll leave.
I'm afraid he doesn't love me or leave. Okay. If I smell the idea that he could leave, I react with a breakup.
So here's one thing I would say with you, and if it's tougher for women to do this because you're operating on a higher emotion scale than when I work with men. With guys, I go step 1, step 2, step 3. Now it works. It's like working on a vehicle or working on like building something. It's way easier. When I go through this with women, I can tell you the steps, but then you're going to get in your own way somehow. Let's see though. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Everything that you just said that you react to is make-believe. Go ahead and get angry. It's not real. It's a possible future that most likely does not ever exist, but you're still going to have an emotional attachment to the imaginary version of the future that you do not want to have happen. When you start creating negative possible futures that could go wrong, this is where anxiety starts to thrive. It's because it's fear amplified in a negative environment. And when you're always creating negative environments that could happen and you don't ever want to have that again, you're going to start preemptively attacking even if it's not real. This is not healthy for you because even if somebody was authentic, you have already made up that they're not.
Yep.
Even if somebody is loyal and good and not going to leave you, you have a belief system that you will make it true. And if you create self-fulfilling prophecies, if you create it, you will make it happen. In which case, you will always be alone because other people are always going to be hurting you in your imagination.
Yeah. Can I ask one question to her?
Yeah, of course.
With your childhood, was your dad around? What was that relationship like? Or even with your mom? Just curious.
It can be like overthinking, Chris. I see Pickle, 1993. Is it like overthinking? It can be a degree of that. I probably put it more into you don't have control of your creativity and imagination. Your creativity has control of you.
Oh, we freezed a lot.
I wonder what's going on with this.
Dang it.
We have, I see, full internet, full bars. I don't understand.
You sure you switched it over?
I did switch it over to the internet that's right by here.
Dang.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm just curious. So Blonde's 2.0.
Got a very violent dad.
Was he, even though he was, did he end up leaving? Or did your mom leave? Or they were both still around?
Well, what she's asking for is there was a degree of abandonment that happened to you that you don't want to have happen again. Who did it? Who left? Who left that you're afraid of leaving you, so you're going to leave them first? How did I get such a cute wife? We worked at it, man. We worked at it. I'm just kidding.
He tells me what I should wear. He tells me how to sit, how to talk. Just kidding.
Yeah, you're doing great, by the way, babe. All the
Thank
things
you.
we practiced.
Leaving my time later on.
Yeah, but who left in your life to make you so afraid of this? Like, what happened? Like, that's where we would have to talk. It's gonna be tough for you to type on this. It could be for mom leaving too. The abandonment one is tricky.
I went through. I didn't put a label on mine, but I went through a very similar thing when I was like early 20s, and it was not good. Actually, it was something that I used to be proud of, and then I grew up and was like, why? But I used to always break. As things started going south, I would make sure that I was out before they would leave me, because I grew up not having a dad. Was always afraid, like that abandonment issue. So I would create it. So I would leave first, so I didn't feel the pain, which is crazy because you end up feeling it down the road. So she said, did you say she should be alone?
No, I just said you will make sure you are if you keep doing this way.
Yeah.
I didn't say you should or shouldn't.
Parents do the best that Rick always says, parents do the best that they know how to do. My mom always was working too. She...
Yeah. If you want my real answer for you, I didn't tell you what you should do. If you want me to tell you what I think you should do, I will. But I didn't do that. I simply said this is what it seems like it is.
Yeah.
But if you would like to know my opinion, you just ask for it. I don't mind. But otherwise, I would probably look to see what made it so you have this fear to begin with, and then I would work through that. Otherwise, you're just going to keep hurting people.
Yeah. It's not fair to them. It's also not fair to you, too.
Right.
Yeah. Could be that. Yeah.
I mean, mom leaving is a big deal.
It's hard, yeah.
It's a big deal. And so if you're worried about people leaving...
Even if you have a mom, yeah, so afraid.
I'm just telling you, the definition for fear is that it's a possible future that may or may not ever exist. And so if you're afraid of being vulnerable or that somebody is going to leave you because, like, that's what's happened before, that's what's going to always happen to you because you're going to leave to make sure it does.
Yep.
That's why you keep doing it. But you're attacking make-believe. It's not real. These people aren't leaving you. You're leaving them and then calling it abandonment.
Yes.
Why am I always alone? Why am I always alone?
You'll make it happen because you're looking for it. You'll make it happen with every single relationship you're in if you don't figure out. Like, start journaling and writing it down. Like, you seem to know it could come from there, but start writing. And figure out where it's coming from and work on yourself, because otherwise you'll be in that cycle of having the same type of relationship where you're just burning them down.
Everyone argues in a relationship. Have y'all ever broke up or separated? Well, no, since we started being together, we never did that. But have we ever broke up and separated from other people?
Heck yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or else we wouldn't be together.
we don't neither one of us really plays the game of like,
we don't play that.
I don't believe in like threats, like the people that are like, I'm going to break up with you, or I'll just leave, or I'm going to divorce you, or I've never, like, there's certain things in a relationship, in my opinion, you just never say to other people. Like, there's things I would never say to him. Like, it doesn't matter. I've been mad at him before, and he's been mad at me. There's things we just don't say to each other, because those are things you also can never take back. But no, we've never broken up. We've never separated. We've argued.
Yeah.
But
this is a genie's lamp. Ooh.
This gets the most attention. I bought this at the antique
truthfully,
shop.
You want to know why this is here?
Or like a flea market, honestly.
You want to know why it's here? Because you guys can't hear me otherwise. It's got a microphone I attached to the back of this thing. This way, I can talk like this, and you guys can hear me.
Yeah. I bought it because one of my favorite colors is black, and I wear black every day to work. And so that caught my attention. So I'm like, here we are. It's actually, I usually keep it in my office, but now it's made its way over to here. So.
Mm-hmm. I saw another question on here. That was a good one. Let's see.
How do you work out
fights and arguments? Good question.
That's a great question.
How do we work out fights and arguments? You want me to give you the easiest way to start working through your arguments? Listen. Oh, that's so simple, right? No, listen. Let them talk. And really try to listen to understand.
Listen to understand. Don't listen to assume or listen to
add
talk.
Stuff. Yeah, don't
it's
listen
so
to
hard.
Make up their opinions.
Oh, it's so
don't
hard.
Listen and then create a straw man argument. Don't listen and then add their intentions in. Don't listen and then get pissed off over the feelings that you made up.
Or feelings that they said this before, so it must mean this. The things we do, you literally.
How much did you create?
Just have to listen to what they're saying without adding anything.
Yeah. Erin said, "Don't yell, don't yell." She actually yelled twice to not yell.
With exclamation points.
Lots of exclamation.
Don't yell! Don't yell!
Don't yell! Don't yell! It's like, fair, we got it. We got it.
Not get angry. It's very easy to say, but it's...
The hard part about getting angry, and here's just something to know about anger when it comes to relationships, is when it comes to love and it comes to value and importance in another person, the other person you're with is going to be at a very high level of importance and value to you. The higher level the person, the thing, the activity, whatever it is that you're doing is, the easier it is to get angry whenever there's some form of injustice, some form of unmet need, when there's some form of something being taken or lost. Then it's a higher level that you're going to have a reaction to, because in our love circle, all of the feelings are amplified all the way up. So your positive feelings are amplified, your negative feelings are amplified. And this is, why we have more intimacy, and this is why we have more anger. It's because this is turned up to 10 the more value you have in somebody. So it's easy to say, don't get angry. But it's the one thing that you have so much value for that it can make you the most angry because you care so damn much about it. And that makes it very, very difficult. Thank you. Who's your plumber?
For the hanging lights.
That was cool.
Appreciate that.
And so, yeah, it'd be a good idea if really we could all just be calm and stoic. But when it comes to your needs to be heard, or the things that you need in the relationship not being met, well, that's injustice and unfairness, and so I'm upset about this. And since you're not trying to listen to me so that I can hear you, you don't want to try to understand, that's not fair, and you're the one person that I've given everything that I have to, and you're just not even trying to listen. Yep. You're going to get more and more angry. So it's really difficult to just not get angry.
Yeah. And great question. What if he wants you to listen to him, but he doesn't listen? That's a common.
Doesn't work.
It won't work. But you can set the example of what that looks like for him.
Mhm.
And so, I can't remember if you just said this, but using a notebook and a pen and paper and trying that exercise to write down what you're saying, but then reconfirming, did I hear this correctly? Is this what you're saying? Get that agreement, and then you can continue from there. If you don't get that agreement that you're on the same page, then have the other person translate what it is that they meant.
Also, make sure you guys have agreements to not interrupt each other.
Yes.
It's very important.
It is
It's
important.
not you telling him. Please just be careful with, like, you're not telling each other what to do. You guys have to agree. We're not going to interrupt each other, and like have some sort of like a hold on, like we agreed, no interrupting. And when somebody starts going, I don't give a damn, I'm gonna keep going. The agreements have all been broken. The conversation is over. We agree if somebody goes too far, we take 5 or take 10 or whatever you need. We're good. Like, slow down. We gotta chill out, and we gotta talk. Like.
Yeah.
We got to start back over. We got knocked off. We got
Yeah.
knocked off. What is going on here? Agreed the most recently realized to actually be the trigger. Yeah. So I think it's a good idea. Let's see. I got to work on tone. You're right. That Chris Miller. You're right, man. Like that was my thing too with my girls. It wasn't that my information was incorrect. It's just my tone was so hard.
It's so hard. And
I grew up in Sparta,
he
though.
grew up with a very rough like childhood.
Yeah.
I grew up with a mom in the household and everything was quiet and peaceful and nice, and I was great. I also didn't have a male figure in my life pretty much my entire life. So when I was younger, my dad always yelled, and I remember that part. And so when he would come across as being angry, I would shut down because that's what it reminded me of. I would just like, can't do it, can't, like, nothing is happening. I'm not even entertaining it.
And she would take a small tone change as being angry. And I'm like, this isn't angry. I'm not doing any violence and nothing bad has had, nothing's being broken. This isn't angry. And she's like, nope, it's enough for me. And like, where we came from, this was regular talk. We don't have to do, like, this is normal. If someone's like, pass the fucking potatoes, you're like, this guy wants potatoes. Like, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But, with this environment, with her and the girls, they have no experience with this, and it would just freak them out. People just get quiet and start crying.
Yeah.
So I did. I had to work on my tone a lot. I really did.
Yeah. We've been through it with each other. Like, just our, disagreements, and like we're both very strong-headed people. And have different like fighting styles too. So we've been through it, and it's been
Also, if you guys listen, some of you are catching what I'm saying. When we were having tone issues, I didn't say she needs to deal with my tone. I said I need to learn to change my tone to work for the environment I'm in. This is part of accountability for a lot of us guys. A lot of us think that everyone is supposed to be doing what we want them to do because I'm not changing. But I'm willing to go, you know what? If the controllable here on my side is tone, and I can't control how she takes things, well, then I'll go ahead and work on my controllable, which is I can learn to speak differently.
Yeah.
And I did. I have toned it down a lot, and I use it with my guys. You see me do conflict resolution. I take guys from DEFCON fucking 10 and pull them right down. Like, we're good. Calm down. Let me hear what you've got.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think that
Aaron, you want to have more fun? Record the conversation and see who you sound like.
Yep. We had to do that.
You're going to sound like somebody who you grew up with that you don't want to sound like.
Yeah.
I sounded like my dad. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm like, I sound like my dad. That's not my plan.
Yeah.
We've been together for almost 6 years now. 5 years. November.
5 years, I think.
November will be 6, right? Is it 5?
I don't know. I think it's 5.
All right, 5. 5 it is.
Yeah. It's been
Time,
good.
time goes by so fast. I don't know how long it is because I love her.
I love her. I love you too. I will tell you the turning point for us, or for me, because him and I don't think it's for the flowers.
Thank
We
you.
don't have kids together, so give you a little bit of setup of the baggage that I bring over across the bridge to this guy and what he has to deal with. And what I say deal with, I mean he really has to deal with this. So I'll run through this very quickly because I don't think I've ever said this before. We have 4 other girls in this house besides myself. Okay, I'm a lot by myself. I get it. Then we have my cousin who lives here. She is 23. I took her in when she was 16. Her parents were not the greatest. So I took her under my wing, and she's lived with me since. I have a stepdaughter. When I got married years ago, red flag, everybody. You guys are really getting to know my life real quick. He had another girl pregnant. Listen, you guys, don't judge me. Should have known. Still didn't. Still got married, okay? So when we got married, my stepdaughter was 6 months old. She's been in my life this entire time. When we got divorced, he said I could no longer see her. Unfortunately, during this time, she was taken away from her mom. And I was like, she needs to be with her sisters, because I have 2 other girls that are my biological kids. So she's almost 16. She's been with me now for the last 3-4 years.
Almost 4 years.
Yeah, about 4 years. I took in my stepdaughter, and she's lived with me full time.
Yes,
now they're slowly getting back together with their dad, but they've really grabbed onto Rick. So when I say I brought a lot of baggage here with me. When I met him, it was only just me and my 2 girls, and then my older cousin. But with my stepdaughter coming along for the journey, it's been pretty great. I'm like, I can't take any more kids on.
Yeah.
But
Yes, 5 females.
I always tell him, if I was a guy and I saw, or honestly, just as a woman, if I met a guy that had that many kids, I don't know if I would be able to, I'm sure I would, but that's just my personality, but it would be very difficult. That's a lot to sign up for.
No, you wouldn't. No, you would not. You're gonna take your 4 girls and throw 5 more guys in the mix or whatever. You're gonna Brady Bunch it? No, you wouldn't.
No, I was saying without, if you had kids and I didn't have any.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, I don't think you would.
You don't know my life.
All right. I mean,
It's a journey I go on.
I showed up
but
with
I
2
won't.
small dogs. Here we go.
Yep, and so much to learn.
How many days a week do you recommend working out? You want to know how many days a week I work out, Mozajeski? I work out every day, but I only work out 15, 20 minutes a day. I just hit a little bit, and then I go every day. I just make it so my recovery, is fast enough to be okay for the next upcoming days. So I do a lot of hit training or circuit training. I do 15, 20 minutes a day, but I just do it every day, and it works out. I like to recover. I want to make sure I can still do things through the day. I used to do that old workouts where I couldn't even walk. Doesn't serve me anymore. I have things to do. I can't be so sore I can't move.
Yeah.
So I work out every day, but I work out a little every day, and I just do it every day. I found out consistency over time is far more valuable to me than trying to destroy myself every day. Don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So I found out the rest days, I don't do rest days. I'll have easier days, but I work out every day.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you.
What a journey. Yeah, it's definitely been.
What's your opinion of
journey.
love languages in a relationship? We have that video already, so that's my opinion of what they are. Some are dangerous, especially the touch one. Fortunately, we really worked through a lot of stuff, but we're both quality time and touch people, so touch is not one of our issues.
It is an issue though.
We
If we
have
talk,
a
if we
very
watch,
healthy touch life. We're very healthy.
If we walk past
quality
each
time.
other in the hallway and neither one of us touches each other, it's weird. If we have to be like, let's try that again. That doesn't feel right.
Yeah. If I'm not getting this butt when she walks by,
Yeah, it even feels weird. I'm like, let's not. Can we do that again? You can slap my butt again, please.
We'll get it.
The kids are like, oh gosh, you guys are gross. We're like, yep.
We keep it real. This is who we are when we hang out.
We're very real, and I didn't used to be very open at all. Like, I didn't tell people my business ever. I was raised in a household that my mom, we didn't share things outside of our house, the three of us. And so that was hard for me. And when I got divorced, I started a blog and I started writing, and it helped me to open up a little bit more. So that was helpful. But I don't know.
Erin, you get it. Touch is really important.
So important.
And when I talk, we've worked with some couples on the touch thing a few times. I think that we both kind of get confused on that one. We get confused on why people would kind of deny another person a love language that you committed that you would only do with each other. Now, if there was no commitment that it's only you and I do this with each other, if that was the case and we have agreements that like you go get touch from somewhere else because I am not going to do it, and there's like we agree with each other, if that was a thing, fine. But if you said, I commit to you, you and I only, we are the only ones who we're allowed to do bathing suit touches, that's it, we're the only ones, and then I decided to start taking that off the table, well, that wouldn't be very right. Like, that would be, we made a promise.
Yep.
Like, it's you and me. Now, please, do not confuse me right now, because ladies love to add in that I made an obligation that your choices don't matter. Please shove that in a different room. No one's saying that. I am saying that if I said, I'm going to hug you and kiss you and love you, and we're going to be intimate only with each other, that's the agreement. No other people we get intimate with, only us. And then I say, I'm not going to get intimate with you anymore. And she says, well, this is one of my most important things for touch, is I need to feel like I'm not rejected. I need to feel like I'm wanted. I need to feel that like I'm appreciated and that I'm valued and that I can be reciprocated for touch and love. That's important to me. And I say, I don't care. I don't feel like it. I believe that morally that's like killing your relationship. Yep. And if you think that that's nicer than cheating, like I would probably argue that you're breaking vows.
Yeah.
I'd argue if you decided not to honor, not to respect, not to cherish, not to stay, not to be intimate, not to touch, not to spend time with, not to be there for sickness and in health, good times and bad times. If you're just breaking all of the vows, but you said you weren't loyal the way that I wanted you to be loyal, but you just broke a handful of loyalty vows, I wouldn't say that you're the high ground.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's, yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, Erin, I'm with you. Yeah. I feel like it's one of those things where even just like I want to hold hands. If I say, babe, we're watching a movie, I go to hold hands, and then she pulls away. Yeah. Like, pull away. Like, you pull away aggressively.
I can't even. Like, I can't. It's such a rejection.
It's not nice.
You're in that type of relationship where there's that constant rejection. Where do you go from there? Mm-hmm. Like, that's just, you committed to be with someone that just reminding you every day that they don't want to be around you. Mm-hmm. It's awful. It's such just even that. And I know we did a video on this, but it feels the same way as it did then. I hate it. I hate it. It's
just a weird choice to make, to know that this person, like, and I'm with you, it doesn't always have to be intimate, but just know that, like, if she goes to touch my hand, and I'm like,
I hate even, like, doing that. I know I'm, like, being dramatic, but I really hate it.
Well, it's an example.
I hate the
I will
example.
touch you as much as you like. I'm just, but simply saying, like, it's one of those things where I know this is going to hurt you. Mm-hmm. Like, I know. Of course, you can ask a random question. I know it's gonna hurt you. I know that. and I'm going to hurt you anyways.
No,
I don't really understand that part when this is the person that I've committed to the most. Why would I hurt you on purpose? That part is kind of confusing. What part of me makes me feel justified to do harm to the thing that we agreed we only do together?
Yeah.
You know, would he be cool with you holding another guy's hand or, you know, whatever? Like having whatever regular touch things with other people? He's like, no, that wouldn't be cool. Well, isn't not doing with the person that you made the agreement with to be with forever also not cool? It's
Think
kind of
about
that
that.
weird double standard. Like, don't be that person if
Yeah.
you don't want to be treated that way.
Yeah. Have a
And I think it
conversation.
goes the other way too. I think that whatever his love language was, if you were just like, I'm just not going to do that anymore, you know. It's
And then
just one
you
of those-
expect them just to deal with it.
yeah, you
like,
need to.
and again, like, I believe in people working things out and, you know, at least have that conversation. But, that's a tough one.
All right, let's see what the question is.
I
Can ask
spent
her-
4 months absolutely getting to know another woman. We shared everything every day. When I called her out one time because I felt like she wasn't telling me the truth as far as
Ooh,
your quick typer, as far as what her schedule was because we shared everything,
expectation, sure.
she ghosted me and I thought she was the one. She's
was
not the one.
Now you know.
She's a
not.
ghost.
She's a ghost. She was not real.
All jokes aside, though, glad you didn't waste any more time.
Yeah, lucky you, man. Only
Yep.
4 months in.
Yep.
She's not the one because as soon as you ask her hard questions like, "What's your schedule?"
She leaves. Can you imagine?
she's gonna be gone. Now imagine if you guys had to go through loss or death or
Kids.
anything. Imagine you had to go through some really tough things in life. Oh, she'd be invisible.
Congratulations.
She would be gone for sure. So lucky you, bro.
Sorry, yeah, straightforward, but yeah.
Lucky you because you could have put 4 or 5 years into this
Yep.
person just to have him ghost you for asking a question or
Absolutely.
you know whatever it is. Now, if I have to like based on your story here, if I could advise you as a brother to brother, I would say be careful when you call people out. You know what I mean? So you said like I called her out one time, you know, and maybe this is just me taking the words too literally, and that could be too. But whenever you go like I'm gonna call you out, this is bullshit. Like whenever you do that, you're raising the stakes in the conversation, and when you go all in with anger or you go all in with accusation, sometimes they have a better hand than you, and they'll just fold, and then just you lose.
Yeah.
Like sometimes this goes against you. If you raise the pot, sometimes you lose everything, and
Yeah.
you raise the pot, and then you lost that hand, and you lost. It's gone.
Yeah.
And if you don't want that outcome, maybe not call people out unless you're willing to lose it.
Yeah. Listen, I thought I loved her. I thought we shared everything. Be prepared for the
Maybe you did, but she did not feel
Yeah.
the same because she's gone just for going like I don't think that's your real schedule.
How do we go from literally communicating everything of what we're doing every day to just ghosted? That's a great question.
It's a good question. Shows where her loyalties are, shows her values, and it shows how important you really were to her. Now, please don't take this like you're not good enough.
Right.
She's not good enough.
There's something with her. I
If
don't
somebody
think it's
can,
you.
again, we just talked about the love language thing. If somebody can treat somebody like this, this is not a person who has values. But it sounds like you're going big into bargaining. So bargaining is an interesting motherfucker. This is when you're in your race to acceptance, you're going through loss. Bargaining is this thing where we create justifications and made up scenarios and what ifs and she's the one and all these things. I would be willing to bet if you were going through the timeline and saw this thing objectively, you would see that this girl had red flags all the fuck over the place. But you had your rose-colored glasses on, so the circus looks like just a bunch of fun flags.
Yep.
Yay! Bargaining is interesting because you're going to create all of these false, make-believe, possible, beautiful fantasies and wishes and all of these things that could have gone, and she could have been the one, and she was going to be perfect, and we were going to have the best life, and I could be open with her and authentic and really share, and the one time things didn't go her way, she's gone. You were looking through rose-colored glasses, bro. The reality of it is, if you take these things off, you're going to see this place as a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
You're in fairy tale land. You're making up stuff. You created a reason why the negatives were good. And I see people with rose-colored glasses do this all the time. You were. It was delusional. That's actually your correct answer. The advanced form of bargaining is delusion. This is the same thing as the advanced form of fear is anxiety. You were going so far into the fantasy that you were missing the reality. Now I'll help you with the cure. The same thing as fear is not real. The delusion or the bargaining is also not real. You've created an imaginary version of somebody that would be perfect. But you skipped all of the reality and you try and fit like the things that don't serve you. Like sometimes she disappears for 3 days at a time with no explanation. Just because she's so busy and has such an amazing, promising future.
That needs to be alive in itself. What? A lot of people do this.
Sometimes she says mean things, but it's only because she's working through all of her past trauma, and I think she's courageous and brave for it.
Why do we make up the stories for people when we know if we're really taking a moment and quieting our minds that this isn't right. But sometimes people also don't want to be alone. Mm-hmm. And so they just settle and let people treat them like this. And that also isn't okay. We're sorry you're crying.
Well, I hope he's crying from laughing. But as far as this one goes for this one, just the race to acceptance and the way that this works is understand that accepting that this wasn't reality means it gives you the room to heal.
Yeah.
No blame, no shame, no judgment, no guilt. It just is. She was not what you thought, and that's okay. But now, and here's where I want to help you out. You learned about things that you do like as far as traits in other people, and you've learned things you don't like in other people. You've learned to value loyalty. You've learned to value the way that you communicate in a different way. You've learned what it feels like to be able to be authentic and open up. And there are healthy ways to do this. But now you've also realized we have to establish a different form of communication than calling people out and maybe ask a few more questions without having assumptions. And that could have saved the dynamic too.
Yeah.
We learned stuff. You grew. We leveled up, bro.
But again, this one I don't believe was you.
I don't think so. I think if she's got that capability.
I don't care how you ask that question. I mean, there's misunderstandings like that. Like, if they just don't talk to you anymore because you asked a question that hurt their feelings, okay, then what?
No, he called her out.
So what? She needed to be called out because what she was doing didn't seem right to you. So let's ask questions.
Yeah, you challenged her this much and she was gone. Imagine if you went through real stuff, bud.
Please. Yeah. Question. Mm-hmm. Yes, Isaiah?
Bring it to you, Isaiah. I miss talking to Isaiah.
Bold of you to assume I have feeling. Are you taking callers? Caller number 1?
If you have over 1,000 people and you can go live with us, I mean, I'll be happy to do it with you.
Oh, yeah. Who's your plumber?
I mean, if he's got...
He does. Yeah. You want to go live with us?
If you want to jump on with us, well...
As long as you don't make it weird.
I mean, no, I think he seems good. Who's your plumber? Do you want to jump on with us? If he wants to. Just type it first, and then if you want to jump on...
Yeah, if you do, maybe you guys can see what a real call is.
You get your call right now.
Yeah.
Let me, if he wants to jump on, just say yes first.
We're just waiting for him.
Yeah. I'll have to get my notebook so I can write.
You want to borrow my papers?
Yeah, that's fine.
What if I went live with voice so that it wouldn't be weird?
I think it would be weirder if you went live with just voice.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm just saying, like, what I mean by being weird is, like, don't start taking off your pants in the middle of a live, because then it's not going to work out for anybody.
Yeah, we don't want to see like gaping buttholes or nothing. So, as long as you just want to talk, then absolutely.
Yeah, everyone's cheering you on.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Why are you blocking the question? What did you say, Phil? What did you say?
Yeah, let's see. Hit the buttons.
My friggin' papers. Well, did he? He didn't say yeah.
Let's see if he says yes. He just laughed.
That doesn't mean yes.
You slow your roll there, Turbo Pops.
Can you see?
Let's see. What is this button?
No one
do?
sees anything.
Is this the right
Yeah,
one?
invite them. An example that gives everyone that's able to go live with us.
Yeah, give it an
All right,
idea.
here you go. If you said no,
All right. I gotta change the sound though. All right, can you hear him?
I can hear you guys.
My man.
hey.
Hey,
All right, there's some sort of reverb. I think it's hearing off of yours, right?
All right, is that better? Yeah.
Much better. All right, who's your plumber? What's up, brother?
well, there's a lot up, so that's why I follow you guys, because you guys cover a lot of stuff.
Well, let's hear your story, because now you don't have to type, which I really appreciate from you.
So those of you guys just jumping on too, you'll see like him in action. I'll just sit back and watch.
Well, to be as vague as possible,
Sure.
because I prefer to be as anonymous as possible at this point. Long-term relationship, never felt like I was ever chased. I've always been the chaser. She's an awesome person. And when she finally found herself, I betrayed her. I was hiding in the garage, taking shots, hiding, saying that I was sober, and I wasn't. And she was. And she was awesome. And she finally said, fuck it. I'm not dealing with this anymore. And then it's been a very difficult up and downhill climb since then on every level. So hopefully that didn't hurt anybody's feelings, but that's where we're at.
You're good, bud. Don't worry about people's feelings, man. This is your story. There's no blame, no shame, no judgment, so you're good. Like if anybody's talking about they're offended because of your life, I'm gonna have your back on this one.
Absolutely.
So you said you were in a long-term relationship. How long were you together?
We're still together.
Still together. How long?
17 years.
Perfect. Okay. And then the drinking. You started drinking, or this is something that you've always been doing?
So yeah, that's the difficult part, which is where it goes back to family and the core, the people that my family, her family, they both know, like we became drinking buddies, almost 20 years ago. And then when we both split from our relationships, at that point, we just sort of started hanging out, and it was it was great because we always knew we could kill a case of beer, and it was 3 to 4 nights a week. But that was 20 years ago, and then it progressed, and then now our son's 10. So it's tough because I know that she wants a different life, and I want a different life, but I really, really want that life to be with her. And I think I'm the only guy or the only person on board for that decision. I think every single person, if you want to say it's 20 people or 150 people, I'm the only person that believes this could work.
That's
So
fair. I mean, you're hopeful. It's fine. I got a couple things I have to go a little further to understand what's going on. You guys started off as like the relationship was built on a foundation where you guys consider drinking like the activity you do together. Is that what it is? Did I understand that right?
Well, yeah, it was beer. But
Cool.
yeah, we would do that, and then we would confide in each other, and we would
Cool.
talk and chat, and we talk about past relationships and what we envisioned our future to be, essentially.
And then something
Almost
changed.
20 years ago, right? So
All right. At some point, though, something changed. Like she stopped seeing this as a benefit. Like what happened? Was there an agreement made where you guys decided you're not going to do this anymore? Like, how can what you
so
guys have always done betray trust?
so very early on, um, everything was always in my name, and so when we would fight, I would tell her to leave,
Okay.
and uh, once we went back and forth, and I would barely get us a place by the skin of my teeth, and it would always be an awesome place, but it was always like last second. Nobody's nobody could ever get this place at that time for that price type of thing. It's like a I don't know. It's like a procrastination thing that I have. Um, I can always make it work. It has to be to the point where it's end all or be all to make that
Right.
thing happen. And she was sick of living like that. She was sick of always having the green bills come in the mail saying that you got like 30 days and shit's being turned off.
She
And
saw it as
so,
risk. Like you lived risky. Like she
well,
saw that
yeah,
as like that's a
well,
riskier way to do it. There's a lot less stability there. Even though you always
she,
made it work, she didn't
well,
value that lifestyle.
no, because she's worked her way to the point where she's at with the exact opposite mindset.
Hmm.
And that's what I've always been attracted to. And I feel like she's always been attracted to the type of person that was like me, where it's like, I might not make any money for 2 weeks, but on the third week, I make enough that, uh, you know, I could sit home for 2 months. And so it's always that up and down thing
Hmm.
because being a contractor, etc.
Hmm.
So when did this become like we don't do this?
Well, I don't know if we've ever gotten to that point.
Okay. Well, just so I can maybe make sure, because you said like it was almost like a betrayal that you were going to the garage and doing shots and drinking.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Okay. So she got pregnant, and she went to the doctor, and she was like, "Look, I don't want to take these meds anymore. I want the best for my uh, baby." And we're talking about, so at this point, 11 years ago. And after our son was born, she was phenomenal. I mean, just, I never, I really, I've never seen her like that ever, except for, for that first probably year and a half. But I didn't really understand or know how to provide at that point in a way that she needed me to, because I was taking odd jobs. I was not in a place to own a home. I was, renting month to month, etc. So it was always this doubt, constant doubt, and constant her mom, which I do love her mom, but she's always looking out for her daughter, which she should be. But at that point in our lives, I wasn't there. And when I
Well,
became able to be there, then we would battle because the addiction, with not, yeah, I mean, honestly, with the drinking, it got to the point where we would battle, you know, verbally in front of each other because uh, I don't believe that the things that, um, I don't believe our demons are necessarily um, mounted at this point. I believe it's, to this at this level, it's if you're not sober, there's no reason to work on anything until the sobriety's there.
So this is the thing that stops you from being able to be with your wife, is that like she's calling you out of control or an alcoholic, and this makes it so she can't invest in that part of you. Is it that, or is it because you've brought up a lot of things where it shows a lot of like instability as far as safety, security, and having that reliability for her reassurance that like constant paychecks or things are going to be consistent, things will be safe, things will be secure, going to be stable. And it seems like you bring this up a lot throughout your story.
So
Is this
for the last 4 years, uh, I've made six figures,
okay?
and it's still the same story.
Okay. So that stuff, because like you mentioned, like the everything was in my name, you can leave stuff. I'm
It's
making sure like this isn't like a big part of it. And if it's just the drinking, that's one thing. But if
so
it's,
it's seemingly that is the power that's over me at this point.
mm-hmm,
So my past is my debt, and my debt is pay everything, and then uh, when I need something else, take care of that.
mm-hmm,
And when I want to be nasty, I'm gonna be, and you're gonna deal with it. And eventually, the way I see it, which I'm not trying to be uh, boastful, but the way I see it is I get to the point where I finally just blow up, and then
okay.
she hits record on her cell phone, and then it's I don't know. I'm trapped.
Do you ever listen to the recordings that she's done?
So at this point, she doesn't like to share those with me. I give her my pass. She has my passcode. She can look at my phone freely. That's a big trigger between both of us. Is when she gets to the point where she wants to be really nasty. She just goes outside, stares at her phone, does all kinds of crazy things, and makes all kinds of gestures, and then comes inside and then makes assumptions.
Yeah, that we'll get to that part. As far as I want to stay on this, like the drinking part. Let's stay because this seems to be where the problem area is. So all that other stuff is noise. I need this one spot, this one thing.
Okay.
Have
Yeah,
you ever listened to the recording of you what you sound like drinking? Like
I
ever?
have.
You
Yeah,
have.
I'm ashamed.
It's okay, and I'm not shaming you. And you don't. And
No,
this
I
is
am.
part. Okay.
I'm ashamed of it.
Who did you sound like when you were like that?
Mm,
Like was it
you've
was
already
this
said it.
is this dad? Is this who is this sounding
Family,
like? Is this
family
family
member,
members? So which family member do you sound like when you turn into that person?
my grandfather.
Sound like grandpa. Okay. And grandpa drank, right? Was grandpa a drinker?
Yep, he was.
So a lot of this like learned behavior is stuck in there. This is how you were shown you cope. This is what you do. Like this is what your family does. This is what all the guys do, ever from grandpa down. This is how we deal with stuff. And that's what we do. And then your wife, she got pregnant, got sober, and she's like, "We don't do this anymore." Now the question I have for you is did you guys ever make an agreement this is not what we do anymore? Or did she just stop and you guys didn't make any agreements?
So we made agreements, but we're literally talking about 10 years ago.
Yep. They
And
still I mean it still matters.
no, well, I'm still paying the price, and that's what comes up every
Yeah.
night when she's completely inebriated. And, um,
Is
yeah,
she
I
drinking
mean,
again now too?
yeah, so at this point, yeah, I mean, it's a lot, deeper than that. So, yes, but now that I realize how much I'm exposing on this live, I'd rather uh, share most of those things in private with you.
Fair enough. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just so you know, like none of this is meant to cause any judgment towards you.
No,
This is
no, but I
a lot
just
of crowd
realized that,
thinking.
I have, we all have TikTok followers and my kids are on
Sure,
Oh,
Facebook.
okay, fair enough.
that's fair.
It takes a
Yeah.
lot of courage to do what you're doing, man. And if it's okay with you, I don't have to post this or anything. It's not a big deal. We can leave it just here. I mean, we've got 60 people here, and not everybody knows you. So, like,
No, but
it,
my name sort of, yeah.
fair
I'm not
enough.
saying I'm popular at all, but if
That's,
anybody decided to type that,
I
so
get it.
You're
Yeah.
good. You're good. No judgment here.
my
Um,
kids have their
just
own businesses as well, so thank you.
Yeah. Fair
Well,
enough.
just as far as this stuff goes, you got a vice here that's built in. And as far as when, like, I'll tell you the answers. Here's the thing about it there's two parts to this. I can tell you the answers, but the answers aren't the solutions because the solution is the journey that you have to do to get to the point where you know the answer is. At this point, you're left with choices. There are choices that you have to break the curse. You have a family curse. You have a family curse. It's alcohol, and it's a very normal family curse. You're not screwed up. You're not a jerk. You're not messed up. It's none of those things. This is what happens when the people that you admire and the people that you love the most use this as a coping mechanism. It's only natural that so do you. I can't name a single country song that doesn't have drinking. So this is what guys do
That's why I
when
don't listen to country. Sorry.
Smart.
right, right. It's it's what guys are taught. Women eat, men drink. That's usually the way that it goes. You've had some changes and some agreements that have been tough because she had a I'm done because I'm having a baby, no options. I have to stop thing that happened. And it was just assumed you need to do that too. That's how we're going to be. And you're like, okay, I'll try, but you never refilled this. You never worked into anything else. You never worked into like, here's my new coping mechanism. Here's my new way to be able to handle the things that I've gone through. Here's how I take a tough day on now to replace it. So the only thing it's going to do then is create more stress, more stress, more stress. But you don't have a new coping mechanism.
Right.
You don't have that. And so the only thing you can do is fall back on what makes it so you can cope. Makes sense. That's how that works. Without a healthy way, you're going to become who you were. Now, there's a lot of things that aren't being dealt with when you go into drinking. It's because drinking generally falls under the distraction category. Distractions are coming in through what your pleasure is. I want to feel good, or I want to forget, or I want to not go through this. I want to let the walls down. I want to be able to be me. But who you really are is starting to become a volcano because you're not actually dealing with things, you're distracting from them. When you
Exactly.
distract from them, you stay stuck in denial over the reality of what things are because you're not actually dealing with any of the things. You're just trying to get away from them. When that happens, you're gonna explode on everyone when the walls come down. And that's what drinking does. Now, when you're exploding, you're doing harm and doing damage. People don't like to be around people who are doing harm and doing damage. Not because you intend to, it's just a byproduct of being a volcano. So, in this one, I would recommend, as a brother to brother, get some form of help for it because it's hard to break curses on our own. And it's not your fault, it just is. It's hard to break curses on our own. And it's good to be with people who are good at breaking curses. I have helped guys multiple times as far as the belief system. We've got one of my best guys was a full-blown alcoholic. I got another guy who's working with us who almost drank himself to death multiple times. Like he was one drink from you're dead. Like it was like that. It's able to be broken. I'm going to just give you a couple things that has helped our guys. It's in our belief system. You're not hereditary with this. You were trained to do this because that's what people do. You don't have a disease. It's not a disease. It's a series of decisions that we've done to cope. It can be beaten. It's not a disease. It's a distraction. It's okay to have gone this route because it's all you knew. Now it's time to learn new things, but you're not hopeless. You're not busted. You're not broken. You just have to get rid of the vices that distract you from the reality of being the dad or the man that you can be. You just have to get rid of these things. My recommendation, go into some type of a program. There's no shame, blame, or judgment on this. Get rid of the curse so you can be the dad and the man that you're meant to be. Whether she stays or doesn't stay is a variable of whoever you are without your curse. But you can still be a good-ass dad once you get rid of it. And that can always be who you're going to be, whether she's there or not. So I would say on one hand, while it would be good to be able to have her, the point to salvage may have already been passed. I don't know her and I don't know yet. But I do know the point of salvaging being a good dad to your son is always there. And the sooner you do this, the better role model you can be for the man he's going to be. Otherwise, you're keeping the curse that went from grandpa to family to you to your son. And this is the part where I would say, just brother to brother, go into some way you can get rid of this curse. It's not your curse, and you don't have to keep it. And it takes courage and bravery and badass warrior fucking attitude to get rid of this shit. But it's not a disease. It's not hereditary. It is a series of choices that you do based on how you were trained. And there's only two kinds of guys, trained and untrained. If you could be trained to do it, you could be trained out of doing it. If you go in with this mindset, there's hope, brother. You can do this. You can, but I don't know many who can just do it alone. There's only two ways that happens. Either you go in and you choose to fight, or you're going to hit rock bottom where you have no other options, but you have to stop or you die. Those are the only two roads that happen. My suggestion is do it on your terms. Going the route where it's way too far and you've lost everything is not going to be good. So I would suggest do it on your terms. It's a lot,
Good
brother.
points. I appreciate that.
I salute you to have the courage to have a conversation. Like, this is not easy stuff to go through, but it's important that you have to go through it because you've been in this for a long time. It's simple to say stop doing something you've been doing for 20 or 30 years, maybe longer. Simple to say, not easy to do. I don't know anyone who says breaking family curses is easy. It's not easy. But this is the task that's on your table. But it's not just for you. It's for your boy. Otherwise, he becomes a drinker too.
Correct.
You can do this, man. You can do it. I'd be interested to stay in touch with you and talk, but I would truly say get into some sort of drinking program to get out of it. I don't mean drinking program to drink more. I mean to stop drinking program.
No, we already have beer pong. We know how that works.
Right. Yeah. You already have the drinking games. I'm talking about a program that you no longer need those games and you can make new ones.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having the courage, man. Hopefully that helps and maybe gives you a little bit of a path to feel like confident to go down.
Yeah, and we'll stay in touch. I know earlier you mentioned booking an appointment, so we'll make sure that you get more time if you still want some with Rick, so you can open up and share a little bit more as well.
Yeah, so I'll do that with you, man. We can hang out, just you and me, nobody else, and we can get in further.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So thanks for helping me
go live with us. We appreciate it, and got a lot of support over here.
No worries. I'm going to change my settings to private.
Yeah.
So,
you'd be surprised, and this is something with it. If you look at our following, there are always there seems to be some bot system or troublemakers who try and talk shit, but a majority of what we have is supportive.
And
we're very
and as much
as
the conversation has progressed, and as much as I'm sure that you guys understand this position, but
I do.
I would love to even share this with her, and that's what's so sick about the whole thing is I'm constantly wanting to share too early. No, I'm not, but that's the thing. It's a struggle for me to get to the point where I'm not just taking the counselor's advice and running home on lunch break and saying, hey,
Right.
guess what? We
That's
can
a
do
great
this.
analogy. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
That's smart. Yeah. You know it.
So, for what it's worth, I hope that maybe have helped someone out there. So,
I think it
I
did.
think it did.
Honestly, I see it in the comments.
Pretty
So
awesome, man.
thank you.
Last strength, dude. Yeah, salute you as a warrior. Well done, brother. You got a big fight ahead of you, man, and you can kill it. It's been killed. You have all the things it takes. Now you have to fight.
I appreciate the support, and I look forward to being a warrior with you guys. Thank you.
All right.
man.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. We'll take it easy. I don't know how to make you get off of this. Yet. Figure out how to do it.
I'll just hit the X. Thanks
There you
again.
go. Okay.
No,
Take
bro,
it
hit
easy,
the
brother.
X.
Do I hit it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there, right. You
we
got it. You got it.
All right. That was pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah, that was great. And again, it takes so much courage, and you definitely need to go live, but also all the guys that have the call with you. It's so good.
Yeah. And see from, go ahead and at the top of our page, there's a link that goes to one of our sites. And go in there and just hit the part where there's a button that says book a call. Pick a day within the next couple weeks, like lock in, and let's go ahead and set up some calls. You either talk to me or you talk to Eddie. But if you want to talk to me, put in your info from this so I know it's you. Otherwise, we have guys booking calls all the time, so I don't know who is who necessarily. But it's an option to do that. So let's talk. I'll talk to you in person. It'd be good to meet you.
Yeah.
Is it a necessity to make your partner feel like the priority? TC, I think we've talked about this before. Let's see. I'm going to take a couple more. I'm really tired, baby. It's 11:19 after this, so I'm gonna go to bed soon. But TC, it's important to know that we do not have each other as our top priority.
I'm just kidding.
We're not. On her list. I'm like 4 to 5. I'd be happy if I'm 4, but probably number 5 is probably where I really fall on her list, and she's number 3 on my priority list. She's much higher than hundreds and thousands of other things are on my list, but as far as where is she at, she's my number 3, and I'm probably her number 4 or 5. And so, is it important that your partner should be number 1? No, it's not. For my list and her list, both of us have to be number 1, because if we take care of ourselves, we can take care of others so much better. My number 2 is my passion, my goals, my business, the stuff I do to take care of my guys. I have to do this because it allows me to support and take care of her and my girls better. So those have to be taken care of. Her top 2 priorities also fall. I'd probably say hers, if I had to go with yours, tell me if I'm wrong. She's got to take care of herself. Then she's got to take care of the girls. Then she's got work. I would even put mom above me, and then me. Is it a teeter-totter between me and mom? Does it switch back and forth?
I see you guys as equal, and that takes a lot for me to say that. Like, yeah, my mom's been the only consistent thing I've had in my life.
Like
so
mom and Rick?
Yes.
As number 4?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to follow it.
That's leveling up.
I
My mom
leveled
is always coming before
It's true.
any man ever will.
So
Now
the
look
only
at
thing
you.
I would watch out for is don't have expectations of where you
Me too.
think you should be for somebody else's priority list. You don't make up where somebody else should put you. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, Jessica said, tell your next potential girlfriend she can be the 6th most important thing in your life. Right. When you break it down like that, it doesn't seem as exciting, but it is the necessary level that things have to be. We have to take care of ourselves first to make sure we're good for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean like out of the thousands of other things that we go through,
No.
I'm not going to be ahead of it.
Yeah.
So we're good. Shouldn't your partner come second? Business come and go, but your kids. Listen, I'll tell you right now, Jess. Partners come and go. Your business will still be there, and having like your security and safety, that part to it, that part will still be useful, even if your partner was to choose another partner. No, she's pretty established that work is more important than me because I could make mistakes that make it so that she would be left high and dry based on my money.
Yeah.
No, she's like, I got to make sure that I've got
I
safety
was
security
raised
for
to,
herself. That's
yeah.
just her. Just so you know, doesn't mean that her list should be your list.
Right.
That's just her list based on her lifestyle, and I accept her list.
Yeah. I have to always have my own thing. Coming from never, like I said earlier in the live, like I've never been able to rely on a guy to take care of me. I also wasn't raised that way. My mom was like, never move in with anybody unless you can take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just have always done that. And I cannot allow a guy to financially pay for all the things I want. Like it makes me so, I can't do it. Can't do it.
And I'm not insecure in the way that I have to do everything or else I'm not valued. I love a strong woman and she can take care of herself. This means we make each other's lives better because we don't need each other. We choose to make each other's lives better.
Yeah.
So this works for us though.
Yeah.
Like, so I've got money. She's got money. I will use my money to make her life better. She uses her money to make my life better. But we aren't money obsessed. These are just bonuses that we're able to do together.
Yeah.
You know, and so she's independent, I'm independent. But we don't need each other. She doesn't complete me. We complement each other.
Yeah.
I don't need her and she doesn't need me. But we make each other better together. And that's why we have our priorities the way that they are.
Yeah.
And so I don't disagree with her priority list. I love her with her priority list. And I moved up to number 4. So somebody bump a fist. Somebody bump it.
It does. It takes a lot for me to say that someone's above my mom. And my mom and I are very close. But again, when you have that unconditional love in your life that is there for you all the time, no man has ever shown me that.
Baby.
He's the first one.
There's no such thing as unconditional love.
Yeah, yes, there is.
All right, go ahead.
Have you met my mom?
Yeah, and there's conditions.
Not for me, there's not. No, there's not. You go ask her. Go ask her. She will love me always.
I'm sure she will. Me and the guys, we had a conversation about this tonight. And we went through like even self-love and all this stuff. I'm like, you have shamed yourself more than anybody.
Oh, for sure. Same. I have a mom that is amazing. Like my mom's incredible. She's like, I can confidently say unconditional love with my mom. 100%.
Yeah. Good argument. That's the loophole. That's the one.
She's the only one, though.
All right.
Okay, you're tired.
I'm tired. I'm getting cranky. We're going to go to bed. We appreciate and love you guys so much. Thank you for being a part of hanging out with us tonight. That was really brave for Who's Your Plumber. Like, man, thank you for doing that with us. We appreciate you.
Yes, we'll be in touch.
Incredibly. Like that took a lot of courage to do that. So we appreciate your vulnerability because it takes a lot of guts to do things like that.
Yeah.
For any of you guys who are wondering, what do we really do? We do this all day. Just book a call at the top. For some of you ladies out there, we are working on something to help our ladies also in the future. So keep an ear down because we are going to make it so as a team, we all grow. A warrior's mindset is not just for men. It also applies to women, and it works well for your couples and for your teammates to be able to grow together. And so lately we've been only working with men, but trying to help out couples. And it's not fair because they're like 14 weeks ahead, and then she's just jumping in going, what am I supposed to do? It's not a fair setup. We're trying to work for both.
Also, for all the men in the group, this goes out to you, Phil. The W that used to stand for warriors now means women.
Oh.
So you're welcome.
She just changed that. So now it's new.
I'm just kidding. It still is warrior. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. That was a joke for Phil only.
It's going to be from the warrior's way to the warrior women.
Yep. You got it.
Funny.
Yep. Yeah.
If it makes you...
No. Everyone's dropping out all of a sudden. Oh my gosh. We're done. We're like deleted.
We're going to be building things for both. We thought about our path and what we need to do here. Men and women can both grow in separate paths, and then once you guys feel trained in knowing thyself and being good with who you are, then you're able to go together and grow forward together because you're on the same page. So we're going to be doing that for both. This will be coming up soon, so we will let you guys know. And for any of my guys who are in my group, no, we are not mixing the classes.
No.
Women will be in the women's group. Men will be in the men's group. It is still going to be the same format.
It can never be mixed.
We will not mix our classes together. It's not going to happen.
No.
So very, very important. We don't mix them together.
Agreed.
Otherwise, we'll have more in the future on that. As soon as we learn how we're going to actually do that. And from this point on, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. It's been a long day. Love you guys. Thank you for everything. We will see you guys.
Yeah,
soon.
it wouldn't work if it was mixed. You're right.
It won't.
So let's answer a couple more questions. I'm just
Good
kidding.
night.
Good night, guys.
We'll see you guys later. Watch our videos.